friends, welcome back. It is Kay. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, leave me a comment. I appreciate all of you guys' support. For those of you that have been here, then hey friend, welcome back. So if you do not know, I'll go ahead and link it as well, but me and my boyfriend are currently going through our home building / home buying process. We currently live in Charlotte, North Carolina. We both relocated to Charlotte from other areas. So I am originally from Toledo, Ohio, which is about 9 hours away. And my boyfriend is originally from Baltimore, Maryland. So we relocated here. And ever since going through our journey, we have been getting questions on living down here, what it is like living down here, the cost of living down here. We did do a video a while back on the pros and cons of living in Charlotte, North Carolina, but we didn't really get into the nitty-gritty, the details regarding the prices and kind of what this market is looking like right now. I am in no way a real estate professional or anything. I'm only going off of our experience since being here and what we have noticed, and just how we feel about the different areas in Charlotte. I'm gonna go ahead and get into a few details with you guys, kind of let you guys know the best places in my opinion on where to live in Charlotte and where you should probably steer clear from, and just some of the pros here. And I'm gonna actually get into the pricing as well, because a lot of people are real discreet when it comes to saying how much they're paying for something, and I feel like this is something that people should know when they are planning to either relocate or build or rent or whatever. I feel like you really want to know how much this stuff is gonna cost, and why nobody wants to talk about it, I don't know, but I'm gonna let you know, okay? So first off, I'm just gonna start with a couple different areas where I feel like are really, really good places to live in Charlotte. Some of these places, keep in mind, are on the outskirts of Charlotte. So I'll let you know that as well once I start to speak about those locations. So one of my favorite areas in this city is the Steel Creek area. So that is actually currently where we live now. We live in Steel Creek. We've lived in Steel Creek for the past few years. The only thing about Steel Creek is it is going up in price like pretty high, okay? So I'll just give you a little bit of reference here. When I first moved to Charlotte, I moved into an apartment in East Charlotte. Now mind you, I didn't really know much about the area when I first moved. I kind of had to find an apartment really fast. I had got a job, needed to be down here at a certain time, and so I had to find an apartment really quick, something that was in my budget as well. So coming from Ohio, my rent for my apartment at the time, so I moved down here March 2019, or end of February 2019. So I had an apartment back home at the time in Ohio. My apartment rent was $475 a month, okay? And I lived in a decent apartment. Now I know those prices have went up as well because everything has just gone up everywhere. But when I moved down here, I knew the cost of living was gonna be higher. And when I first got down here, my first apartment in East Charlotte, my rent was $790 a month, okay? So that is what it was back in March 2019 in East Charlotte. Okay, I stayed there for a year, ended up meeting my boyfriend and everything. We got pregnant, so we needed to move into a bigger place and a nicer space, because honestly, that apartment, like, it's not even just the apartment, that area in general, I just would not recommend. I wouldn't recommend it if you are someone who wants to live in a space that, it was the hood, I'm gonna just say that. It was very much the ghetto, okay? We ended up getting an apartment in Steel Creek. Our apartment there was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I have a video of an apartment tour for that apartment up on my channel, so I'll go ahead and link that as well, put it in the cards so you guys can see that, so you can kind of see what we were working with. It was a nice area. We didn't really have any issues there. When we first moved there, our rent was $12.50. Now that's for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and they were running a special or something. So, and it had a washer and dryer included and everything. So the only bill we had outside of that was our water and our electric bill. Everything else was like all included. It was including our cable and Wi-Fi, all of that stuff. So while living there, like I said, it was $12.50. After our year, our rent ended up going up there. So they were taking our rent up after a year. So at this point, this is 2021. They're taking our rent up to $1,450, I believe it was. So then we started paying close to $1,500 a month in rent. So that already had me like, okay, this is about to get crazy here, because rent never goes down. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna continue to go up. So we were then paying $1,450, and we knew we wanted a bigger space. We didn't want to live in an apartment anymore. There was a bunch of different reasons as to why we no longer wanted to be in an apartment. So we ended up looking into renting a home. So that is what we do right now. We loved that area, so we knew we wanted to stay close by in the Steel Creek area. So we started looking at homes that were close by to where we already were. And we ended up finding a home. We were looking at apartments and all of that stuff too. And the apartment rent was just getting higher and higher for what we needed. We needed at least 2 bedrooms. We wanted 3, but we needed at least 2 bedrooms, and we were gonna be paying $1,600 plus for a 2-bedroom apartment. So we were like, we really thought about just going ahead, getting a house, going ahead to, rent a house, because we knew we weren't in the position to buy a home just yet. So we started looking, and we ended up finding houses for 3 bedrooms between $1,700 and $2,000 plus dollars. We were not comfortable paying over $2,000 a month for rent, so we were looking at something that, you know, where it was a little cheaper. So that was the pricing about a year ago. So we signed our lease in this house in July of last year, which would be July 2021. And the average prices, like I said, were between $1,700 and $2,000 plus for 3-bedroom rental properties, whether it was an apartment, a house, whatever. So those are the prices you were looking at that point. So when you're living out here in Steel Creek, you have so many, there's a lot of people that are native to Charlotte, and they're like, this used to be like farmland out here. There really wasn't anything out here. So Steel Creek has definitely come up a lot. We are close to like the premium outlets. You have like different food options out here. It's very nice. You have a bunch of different charter schools, because Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools kind of suck, so gotta kind of explore your other options with that. So there are a bunch of different charter schools out here that are really highly rated and really good. And then it's close to the airport. You're in a good proximity to Uptown and everything. It is super family friendly. It's super diverse out here. Like, Steel Creek is an amazing place to live. Now, with that being said, you go spend a little coin trying to live out here, okay? Everybody's budget is different. But with us going into buying our house, we did not want to spend over $400,000 on our house, okay? We didn't want to do that. Everything out here is $390, and that is a base price and up right now. So if you're trying to live out in Steel Creek, you're gonna spend at least $400,000 on a house out here, okay? On a single family home. We didn't really look into townhomes because we were not interested in townhomes. But on a single family home, you're gonna spend upwards of $400,000 plus to live out in Steel Creek, okay? But we have no complaints with living out here. If you have the money to spend to do that, then that is great. But we knew that we would not be comfortable paying that amount of money for a home. So the other area that we really like, that we were looking into, is Mount Holly. Mount Holly was also a place that used to be nothing, I guess, and it is now growing to be one of the fastest growing areas in Charlotte. Mount Holly is on like the northern end of Charlotte, I believe. There are some good charter schools out there as well, and they are building a lot more out there. They're pushing a lot more stuff out there. It is very nice. That's where my daughter's doctor's office and everything is at. And when we were going out there for doctor's appointments, I was like, I want to buy a house out here. Like, it was closer to Tony's job. I was like, I really wanted to buy a house out here. Now, because it is growing so fast and it is very diverse, it is very family friendly out there, the price is very high out there as well. So if you guys have seen my previous like home journey videos or whatever, then you would have seen that where we were looking at before, the same builder that we ended up going with in a different location, out in Mount Holly, the base model pricing for those new builds was starting at $380. that was it. Starting at $380, and that's not including you upgrading anything or fixing your house up to the way that you want. It was starting at $380, so after you do all of that, you're gonna be spending over $400,000 out there. Looking at pre-existing homes out there, for a decent home, something that was up to our caliber, you were spending over $380,000. So Mount Holly for us was out of the question, because we knew we were not trying to pay a $2,800 mortgage. Like, that was not a possibility for us. Whether we could afford it or not, we were not doing it. It was crazy because the lady at the office, well, the home builder or whatever, was telling us, oh, you guys can afford. It does not matter what we can afford. We refuse to spend almost $3,000 a month on a mortgage. That just was not gonna happen. So if you have the money to spend, Mount Holly is a great area. I definitely would recommend Steel Creek or Mount Holly. Those are like my two favorite areas in this whole city. So another area where the price is a little bit lower is the University area. So that's like the North Charlotte area. The only thing about out there is, to me, it's very congested, and we did not want to live out there because of that fact. It is very congested, and you are going to spend on the upwards of $350,000 plus to buy a home out there. There's a lot of new construction and stuff going on right now, and which is probably gonna end up being higher than that $350, but to live out there, that's where like the college and stuff is at, and it is just very, very congested. The traffic out there is crazy. It is very diverse and very family friendly, but for us, it was just not worth it because it is way too congested for our liking. So, and we just didn't want to live on that side of town because of that. So, but if that is something that you are willing to compromise on, then I would definitely look into the University area. Now, another place that a lot of people are looking into is Concord. So Concord is actually outside of Charlotte, but Concord tends to have they did have a little bit less expensive homes and stuff out there. Concord is also very family friendly, lots to do. When you go off on that exit getting into Concord though, like you'll go past University area and everything to get to Concord, it is very congested out there as well, and the home prices are still on that upwards of $350,000, $400,000 plus. So for us, we just knew we were not trying to pay $400,000 again for a home. So Concord was kind of out of the question for us, but I do know that the schools and stuff out there tend to be better than they are in Charlotte. And like I said, it is very family friendly. And that was one of the big things we liked about Charlotte, is a lot of these places here, or a lot of these small areas in Charlotte or on the outskirts of Charlotte, are diverse and family friendly. So if that's important to you, then I would definitely recommend, being able to look into those areas. A lot of people feel some type of way about Charlotte because they'll say, oh, they don't have like a nightlife and this and that. That wasn't important to us. We wanted to be close to the beach. We wanted to be close to the mountains. We love the weather here. We love how diverse it is. We love how family oriented it is here. So that is what was important to us, not like clubbing and all of that stuff. So if that's what you're looking into, then you might want to live in an area like NoDa or Uptown. So NoDa is a more, me and Tony call it the hippie area, okay? It is close to Uptown. NoDa is more expensive because it is kind of centralized and in the middle of everything, and you can easily get to different places from NoDa, or you can just stay in NoDa because that's where a lot of the bars and breweries and nightlife per se is at. So that is expensive. We did not look into NoDa because, like I said, we were looking for a single family home for our family. NoDa has a lot of apartments that you're gonna spend on the upwards end of $1,800 plus for, and then they have a lot of the more historic homes, so older homes that are extremely overpriced, but that's a whole story for another day. But NoDa is a very nice area if you're maybe a younger couple or a single person coming looking to just have fun, meet people, whatever. I would definitely recommend like NoDa or Uptown, because there are endless opportunities of apartments and stuff like that there. You're gonna spend a little bit more, but if that's what you're looking for, then that might be the place for you. So another area that I really do like is Fort Mill. Fort Mill is actually in South Carolina. It is actually, if you go south out of Charlotte, you'll run into Fort Mill. It's right before you get to Rock Hill, South Carolina. Fort Mill is a beautiful area with wonderful schools with a hefty price tag on it, okay? You're gonna spend for a townhome in Fort Mill, you're gonna spend at least $350,000. So if you're looking into an actual single family home, of course you're going above that $400,000 mark. We would have loved to live in Fort Mill, but the houses that we were interested in Fort Mill were like $500,000. Wasn't doing that. So Fort Mill was kind of out of the question for us, but it is becoming a more diverse area. And it's a very nice area, clean and just very, very nice. So in Charlotte, you then have like Valentine and South Park. Those areas to me are not, I wouldn't live there. It is not that diverse to me, and it is very, very expensive. And when I say very expensive, I'm talking about $500,000 plus. Just not the area for us. There's lots of little things to do there, lots of shopping, lots of restaurants and all of that good stuff, but that just wasn't the area for us. We wanted to be in an area that was more diverse, where, you know, there were black, white, Hispanic, you know, we didn't have to worry about being the only black people in the neighborhood. And Valentine and South Park, we didn't want our kid to be the only black kid in class, like stuff like that. So to us, those areas just aren't that diverse, and not to even mention the fact that they just were way out of our price range. Like, we were not spending that type of money. Even when I was looking at apartments in Valentine were very high, over that like $1,800 for a 1-bedroom. So that just wasn't the right area for us, but it could be for you. But for us, it just wasn't the right fit. So another area that I feel like is very underrated in Charlotte is Mint Hill. Now, I used to live in East Charlotte. If you kept going, you would run into Mint Hill. I actually really liked the Mint Hill area. They had, you know, shopping and retail and restaurants and stuff, but it kind of was a little bit country, and I liked it. It wasn't as congested as some of those other super popular parts of Charlotte were. And I felt safe every time I was in Mint Hill. I actually really liked that area. Mint Hill does not have as many like apartments and stuff. I think it's more so if you're looking to like purchase a home to live out there. And the pricing for those are kind of the same, like over that $375, $400 plus. So you're gonna spend a pretty penny to be there as well. But I do think Mint Hill is a good area to live in. Now, of course, you have like your Huntersville area. Huntersville is also located directly out of Charlotte. Huntersville is more expensive. They have great schools out there, but it is very expensive. It is very family friendly, but it is over $500,000 to get you a decent house out there. So Huntersville was kind of out of the question for us as well, but it is a very, very nice side of town. Like, and I do think it is becoming more diverse out there as well. But the affordability for us, it didn't match up. One of the last places I want to talk about is Matthews. Matthews is a nice part of Charlotte as well, but you're also gonna pay a little bit to live out there. Matthews is actually where me and Tony met, because we both were working at a restaurant out there while I was bartending and he was kitchen manager, and we actually met out there. Matthews is nice. Matthews is gives me more of a historic feel. I don't see a crap ton of new builds out in Matthews, but there are lots of homes, lots of like older families, you know, but still very family friendly. And we really did like Matthews. Always felt safe out there, and I believe the schools and stuff out there are good as well. But like I said, it was that affordability issue. So what we did when we were looking for our home, we actually explored all of these different areas, and we found that it would be best for us to actually leave outside of North Carolina. So we are actually moving to South Carolina, which is not that far. Like literally where we live now, South Carolina is 5 minutes up the road. So we are actually moving to South Carolina. The taxes are lower there, and we were able to find homes for significantly less. Like the same builder that was here in Charlotte, we ended up finding that same home and floor plan with the same builder for over $80,000 cheaper. So we ended up looking in those areas. I would definitely recommend doing that, especially looking into like the Fort Mill, Rock Hill, you got York, South Carolina, like looking into all of those places outside of Charlotte, because honestly, living in Charlotte, you're just gonna spend a lot of money. You're gonna spend money, whether it's a apartment, townhome, house, whatever, you're gonna spend a little coin. So for us, I would definitely recommend looking outside of Charlotte. If you're coming here with a family or whatever, or you're trying to see how much it's gonna be, I would definitely recommend that for sure. So if you guys have any questions or anything, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I just thought I would get on here and kind of share our experiences being here, and just the different areas that we have kind of grown to love. So I just wanted to give out any information that we had. If I missed something, and I'm so sorry, just leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. I can make another video if you guys want more information. Please check out my pros and cons to living in Charlotte video. And that's gonna be it. I hope you guys really enjoy it, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next video.